Hey. What it do, Sports World? And welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about what happened to Coach Prime and his Colorado Buffaloes today after getting thrashed. I'm talking destroyed versus the Oregon Ducks down in Eugene today. Now, I will say this. I will say this. All right. I predicted them to get beat. I predicted it to be a 14-point game. But what I didn't see coming, I did not see this Duck buzzsaw beating the brakes off of the Buffaloes the way they did. Now, before I start, I want to also say, hey man, thank you all for watching. Also, make sure you all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And as you all can see, I got my Instagram page and my Facebook page at the bottom of this segment right here. All right. So make sure y'all tune in, man. Thank y'all again. All right. So let's jump into this thing. As you all know, I've been predicting it all week. I've been telling you all that the Colorado Buffaloes, the games that they had won before now, it didn't matter. When you travel to Eugene, you better get ready to come prepared and you better come ready. Now, y'all was telling me that Oregon had at Colorado had beat Colorado State. I said, listen, Colorado State is not a good team. Y'all was sitting there telling me, oh, Oregon really not that good because they went down there and they had problems at Texas Tech. And I kept telling y'all, it's a weird place to play at when you go to Texas Tech. I don't know why, but playing down there at night is a very weird place. I said that Oregon is a better team than y'all giving them credit to be. And I said that Colorado, they have a lot of holes in that team. Y'all was sitting there telling me that Shedeur Sanders was the second best quarterback in college football. I kept saying, listen, I can name at least 3 to 4 quarterbacks right now that's better than Shedeur Sanders. Bo Nix being one, Michael Penix being one, Caleb Williams being one, and also Drake May being one. So for them, even for Deion Sanders to say that he was going to be the number 2 pick to Caleb Williams, I said it. I said that he don't make enough big throws for me to give him that title. Do I want to see him being one of the top quarterbacks in the nation? Of course I do. But don't just give him something because of who his father is. That's all I was saying. And now, but I'm going to talk about it at the end. Now, the excuses are coming. Now, all I hear is a bunch of excuses. All I hear is a bunch of, oh, Coach Prime wasn't supposed to win this game. Coach Prime, he's saying, oh, y'all better get me while I'm down. You just because you think you're going to get better, you think these teams ain't going to get better? You think Colorado is the only team that's going to get better after this season? Oregon going to get better as well. Georgia going to get better. Alabama going to get better. Texas going to get better. All these teams, Washington going to get better. All these teams are going to get better as well, Coach Prime. And then everybody talking about, oh, man, y'all waiting for his downfall. Y'all couldn't wait for him to fail. No. What we couldn't wait for is them to be humble. We could not wait for them to humble Shedeur Sanders. When he did this last week to the coach, we doing that to you now. You see what I'm saying? He got to humble himself. And I think this game right here was the perfect game to humble him. That's all we're saying. We ain't hoping that they fail. Just be humble while you're doing it. It's okay to come out there and prove the doubters wrong, but when you go to disrespect, hey, and what Oregon coach did today is the same thing any coach would have done. I'm going to say the same thing to my team as we get prepared. And he took that personal. Okay, that's good you took it personal. Because everybody ain't going to come out here and bow down to you. You beat Colorado State, you beat Nebraska, and you beat TCU. TCU was the best team out of all of them, which, they could have easily won that game, but 2 turnovers. Okay, they scored 42 points against Nebraska. Y'all was struggling in the first half. Y'all was struggling bad. Shedeur was looking bad. And then quarterback for Nebraska, turnover, then y'all scored, turnover again, then y'all scored again. So don't make it like you all were just dominating these teams. And then when it came to Colorado State was a bad team. But y'all struggled with them. You had to beat them in overtime. So going to Eugene, I knew what was going to happen. This 41-6, well, 42-6. I apologize for the typo. 42-6 beat down. I mean, I can't say I saw a 42-6 beat down coming, but hell, I saw them going up there to Eugene and losing. And let's talk about the game, right? The game started off so crazy. Oregon went up 42-0. And I think, honestly, they wanted to send a message. When they came out, you know, first drive, 10 plays, 72 yards, get them on the score. They got the ball back. They went 11 plays, 52 yards. Bo Nix. Hey, it was already 13-0. I said, you know what? They trying to send a message to Colorado. With this game right here, they're trying to send a message. They get the ball in the second quarter. They take it 13 plays, 89 yards. It's 21-0 already. At this time right here, Shedeur Sanders, I think they may have one first down at this time. Get the ball back again. I said, you know what? These dudes might be trying to go 2 for 1. They go score 5 plays, 82 yards, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. They up 28-0. Next thing you know, Bo Nix get the ball back again and take it 6 plays, 70 yards, 1 minute, 16 seconds. They up 35-0. I said, you know what? This game right here is over. It's pretty much over with. They had took the soul out of. They had took all the soul out of the Colorado Buffaloes. And I'm on Facebook, you know, going back and forth with my friends, you know, with my homeboys, and they saying Travis Hunter. Even if they had Travis Hunter, this game right here is not going to change a lot. 42-6 might change to 42-13 or 42-20. That's it. I see him making 2 big plays. I can't see him really just shutting down these wide receivers because they was running wide open all day. That's just one player. So honestly, this game right here was going to happen just like this, whether he was there or not. But what I want to talk about is Bo Nix being the best quarterback on the field today. You know, 28-33, 276 yards, 3 touchdowns. He pretty much left the game in the third quarter. If he plays the fourth quarter, he go well over 400 yards. You got Bucky Irvin. He led them in rushing yards, the little bitty back man. And Oregon had 240 yards rushing. So basically, Colorado couldn't stop them at nothing. Now, I'm going to come back to Oregon, but I want to talk about Colorado passing game with Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, this is not one of those Colorado State teams. Excuse me, let me get that out. This is not one of those Colorado State teams. Oregon is a very fast defense, and Oregon coach came from Georgia, so he's a defensive-minded coach. He had the perfect game plan. Shedeur Sanders was 22 for 33, 159 yards. But don't let that 159 yard trick y'all. Most of those was empty calorie yards. Yeah, that was old Dak Prescott, empty calorie yards. He has 75 yards in the third quarter. Most of that 159 yards came on one drive, in which, if I'm not mistaken, was their last drive, which was 14 plays, 93 yards. So most of those yards came off of that one drive right there. They was outgained 522 to 199. They had 30 first downs. Oregon had 30-13 on first downs. The time of possession was 35-24. Penalties was around the same. Colorado had 12 for 106. Oregon had 9 for 80 yards. But this is the thing. People be like, "Oh, Colorado shooting themselves in the foot by the penalties." Hell, that's the same thing we could say last week for Colorado State. Y'all didn't say that. Y'all didn't give them that type. Y'all didn't give them that. Y'all didn't give them that excuse, but y'all want to give Colorado that excuse. No, I won't let you do that. Yes, they had 12 penalties for 106 yards, but imagine last week Colorado State, they lost in overtime. They had 17, 18 penalties for almost 200 yards. So think about that. I'm not giving y'all that excuse. I'm not allowing y'all to make that excuse for Colorado. Okay. Now let's talk about rushing, 40 yards rushing to 240. and then passing was basically 282 to 159. And like I said, most of those yards was empty calorie yards. Shedeur, he was pretty much trying to get a final touchdown in. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to get blanket. They didn't want to go to have a donut. They didn't want a donut on the scoreboard. So they pretty much allowed him to drive the ball down the field. Oregon still had some of their starters in the game, but I don't think they was playing as hard as they was early in the game. So that 159-yard passing, he had 75 yards in the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. So like I said, most of those yards came on one drive. Shedeur Sanders, a lot of people want to just give him the Heisman. No, you can't do that. And you can't win Heisman in the first 3 weeks or the first 4 weeks of the college football season. They was pretty much saying that this man right here was the best quarterback in college football. Well, the second best. And I honestly feel like Bo Nix took that personal, which he should. He should have. Bo Nix, like I said, the dude was balled out tonight. He was in control. He knew what he wanted to do. I feel like he showed the college football world how good he is. And that is the reason why I said that this Oregon team is dangerous. I'm not just saying it because they beat a bad Colorado defense. Colorado defense is terrible. The Colorado defense has been terrible. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Colorado team as they get prepared to go against Oregon, which Oregon is playing right now. But I will say this, Oregon was a way better team than USC would be, especially on the defensive side. So Colorado could have a chance to put up points. Now that game might be a shootout. That might be more of a shootout than this game right here. Because this game right here was a total blowout. It wasn't even close at all. And that's why I keep telling y'all, pump the brakes on this Colorado team. Pump the brakes. And I already hear the excuses coming from all the analysts. Okay, Colorado wasn't supposed to beat Oregon. Well, shit, I mean, I can't tell. Most of y'all picked them to beat Oregon. Most of y'all picked them during the week. Most of these analysts did not want to go against Coach Prime, even though they knew that Oregon was the better team. When these people put Oregon as a 21-point favorite, they knew how bad this defense was. And that is the reason why they put them as a 21-point favorite. But guess what? Coach Prime, he come on your show, you got to make sure you don't go against him. And that is the reason why I'm glad that they was humble today. I'm not gonna continue to bash Colorado because I said it in the beginning. I said that this right here was like an 8-win team, 9 max, So I'm still good when it comes down to this team. I expect for them to lose again next week. Then they'll probably win the next 2 games, maybe. Even like right now, USC is playing against Arizona State. It's 24-21. That is who they play next week, which is USC. So USC is struggling, but you got to think about it. USC is on the road. Arizona State, that's another place that's hard to play at. You see? So when y'all look at these teams, you got to understand where they're playing at. Colorado struggled last week against Colorado State at Colorado in front of their home fans. So that's why I knew that this team wasn't that good. They hadn't really played. I mean, they went to TCU, but hell, TCU ain't really hard to win at. I look at Texas Tech is harder to win at than TCU is. And even though TCU have a better team than Texas Tech. But like I said, it's weird. That's a weird place to play it. So what y'all think, man? Y'all give me y'all feedback on what y'all think went wrong with this Colorado team today. What's next for them? And what's next with Coach Prime? I don't think this is the end of it. Of course, it's not the end of it. Coach Prime is still a hell of a coach. Shedeur is still a hell of a player. But that defense need to get themselves together. Shiloh made a couple good plays, but the one weakness I'm going to tell y'all that Shiloh got is this. Well, 2 weeks. 2 weaknesses that Shiloh got is he cannot guard a slot wide out. That's the one weakness. And he want to always go for the big hit. He don't want to wrap up. He want to go for the big hit. Once he get those 2 things taken care of, there's no doubt in my mind that Shiloh is going to be a hell of a player at the next level. Because honestly, if people know I am a bigger Shiloh fan than I am a Shedeur fan. Because one thing about Shiloh is very, very humble. He's a very humble player. Deion Sanders Jr., and Shedeur, those are the ones that's very, very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. And that's the reason why a lot of people love to watch them lose, because they love to see them humble. See, I ain't heard nothing about Shedeur. Normally he'll be on social media. Normally he'll be talking, doing this right here, and I ain't seen none of that today. I ain't seen none of that because he was humbled. He was disrespected. I'm not going to say he was disrespected. I'm going to say that he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed the way his offense came out here and played. And to be honest with you, and let me look at the last thing I want to let you all know is this. The Oregon Ducks has 7 sacks on Shedeur Sanders. That just tells you how bad this offensive line is. That tells you how bad their defensive line is. When you can have over 200 and some yards rushing, think about that. 200-yard rushing, your quarterback was sacked 7 times. That's the recipe for a loss. Then Coach Prime, what did he do? He go to the media and he said, these coaches want to beat me. They don't want to beat my team. No, they want to beat you and your team. They want to beat both of y'all. First thing he say, my playing days is over with. If I was playing, I know I would definitely be up on these coaches right here. That's not what we ask you. That's not even what the conversation is about. The conversation is about you having your team prepared to go to Eugene, Oregon to face the Oregon Ducks. That was the conversation. We don't care about you're right. Your playing career is over with. And of course, if you was playing against them, yes, we know you got a gold jacket that you didn't pay for. We already know all of these things. But today's game was against you and your team versus the Oregon Ducks and their team. You see? So don't try to go into the media and try to use the narrative that everybody wants you to you. Everybody want to beat you and not your team. No, they want to beat you and your team because both of y'all do a lot of talking. Your team talk a lot and you talk a lot. And that's the satisfaction that people get. It's just watching you all lose because when you win, you talk. It's personal. I said we was coming, now we here. So use that same energy this week. Use that same energy after getting blasted today. You got blasted by a very good Oregon Duck team. And it basically showed us that your team is not really that good. I wasn't expecting you all to be that good this year. Just being honest with you, I wasn't expecting y'all to win no 11-12 game. But after y'all beat Colorado State, it's like everybody was like, Coach Prime is here. Oh man, I got a feeling. I just got this feeling. This is what Skip said. I got this feeling that that Oregon is gonna get beat. I got a feeling that Colorado is gonna beat this Oregon team. I had some of my homeboys on there. Man, I just got this feeling. You still got that feeling? Man, you ain't had that feeling. You were just hungry, man. Just be real with yourself. You were just hungry. It ain't no way you had that feeling. Because if you had that feeling, then your feelings, you ain't got feelings or something. Because nobody thought that this Oregon team would lose to this Colorado team. Being all the flaws that they got on this team, think about it. But hey, let me tell you all what you all think is next for this Colorado team. Do y'all think they're gonna bounce back next week against USC? Or will USC blast them again next week? All right. And what is next for Shedeur? Do you all think that he's the top 2 quarterback? Do you all feel like what Deion said is true? That he if he went to the NFL, if he entered his name in the NFL draft this season, that he would be the number 2 pick to Caleb Williams? Because hell, today, I did not see a top 3 quarterback. I did not see a top 2 quarterback. I honestly didn't even see a first round quarterback. Honestly, now let's just be real. But hey, y'all give me y'all feedback, man. And hey, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, make sure you all hit the like button and subscribe button and share button as well. All right. And I'm about to come back to y'all with another episode because I got to talk about the hell of a win that Alabama got today and what's next for this Alabama team. But y'all tell me y'all what you all feedback on what you all think about this Colorado team. Will they fold or will this team right here rise to the occasion come next week? Hey, I can't wait to see what happened with this team. Hey, peace and have a blessed day. All right, peace.